Lovely dawn to you, creatures of Elohim's planet, brothers and sisters everywhere, and children. Welcome. This is the second epistle, the book of Iehosua, what you better known as Joshua. This being the first video, and we have some more glorious information for you. And we begin with therefore. Iehosua, the son of Nun, sent from Setim 2 men to spy in secret. And he says to them, go and view the land and the city of Iericho. Let me mosey over here. See if we can get by with this. All right, there's one of my extraordinary sketches. The green is the Salt Sea. North is the Jordan River. To the west of it is Iericho. And where the Israeli camp is now is in Setim, to the east of the Jordan River. At this time in this Old Testament, the names of the 2 men who Iehosua tasked for this spy mission are not revealed. We continue, who going into the house of a woman. Now this extraordinary person is revealed. She happens to be a harlot. A harlot is a woman who, like a prostitute, I guess you'd call contemporary. She to make money, she sells her body to individuals who want sexual pleasures with her. A harlot. So this harlot was named Rahab. Rahab. So these 2 men went to this home of Rahab and rested with her. Don't think otherwise that they did anything else with her. This wasn't revealed, and that this did not occur. So to think otherwise is just foolish. This woman, this unique individual, Rahab, she sees these 2 men, and right away she knows there's something special about these particular Israeli men, Rahab. And it was told the king of Iericho and said, behold, there are men that come in by the middle of the night, children of this Israeli camp, and they came to spy on the land. So this king of Iericho has his own network of individuals keeping an eye on everything, and they happen to see these 2 men sneaking into Iericho and spending the night with Rahab. Now, Iericho and other territories of Canaan were well aware of the Israeli presence east of Jordan. This was an extraordinary camp, a huge camp of 1.5 million strong, plus 1 million some creatures. It's just, who would not know that these people came? They've already conquered 2 kings. No one or nothing could keep this massive, mobile civilization secret. And of course, they've also heard of the Israeli triumphs so far. Iericho and other city-states, territories, tribes, if you will, were certainly waiting with an uneasy restiveness as to what these Israelis were going to do next. Maybe some were aware, well, they come to conquer Canaan. Maybe some laughed it off at that rumor. But What could not be kept secret was the power and the presence of QUI EST that was residing with this Israeli camp. This was absolutely palatable. Anyone who's seen it could see an unusual light, plus the cloud. Don't forget they're being guided. And there's also an angel with them. So there's a lot of glorious presence besides QUI EST's tabernacle and his Ark of Covenant. This power was awesome. And you hear American leaders bragging about the might and the power of military might. Nothing compared to this. Because you can't feel this presence, this military might, unless there were troops walking around everywhere in tanks and jets. Then that would only give off the aura of uneasiness. But with the power of QUI EST, no. This was a very special power that was easily felt. Just as the awaiting on the return of Christ, this should also be palatable. One is not at all prepared unless one waits with elated anticipation and very excitable hope. That's the type of anticipation you should have on living, residing, which you are fortunate to be in, the living testimony of which you are all part of. Anyone who is alive now for Christ's return. Let's continue. And the king of Iericho, what he did is he sent to Rahab saying, I want you to bring forth those men that came to you, that entered into your house. Because they're spies. And they come to view our township, our land. This is reminiscent of Pharaoh, the last king of Egypt before the Israeli Exodus, who also initially turned to women to help thwart the coming of QUI EST, which was going through Moses. So these episodes for these leaders, these kings, these princes, these man leaders are going to women. This is going to become a constant theme. And it shows the devil attempting to defeat Elohim by tempting the weaker sex. This goes all the way back to Eve, as he successfully did with Eve. Not Adam, Eve. Yet time and time again, the spirit of QUI EST with these women becomes the victor over the stronger sex and the devil. Even with Adam and Eve, they both repented after their sin. Remember this name. All right, and let's continue. And the woman, Rahab, she takes the men and she hides them and she says, I confess. She hid them. She says to the king, I confess. They came to me, but I knew not whence they were. I confess they came to me, but I knew not whence they were. I knew not whence they were. What is this? This is a lie, is it not? This is a sin. QUI EST told us there is no justification for a sin. But St. Augustine, he instructs us with some pretty splendiferous words when he says, notwithstanding this officious lie, which is a venial sin, St. Paul and St. James both testify that Rahab was justified by her faith in God and by good works towards these men. A lie? Yes. Venial sin? Yes, she did lie to this man. But what was driving her was the spirit of truth inside, the Holy Ghost aiding her that, yes, you're right, Rahab, these two men are special. My prophet sent them to you. We're going to continue on when we next meet, but there's more to this as we continue on with the story with Rahab, because it's going to validate for you that within each of us is birthed the spirit of truth. And how it is awakened is up to each and every one of you because of free will. More to come. Until next we meet. Pax Vobis.